the asbestos, you don't see hazardous levels in the community. We see when people are going through and doing asbestos removal or disturbing a couple of metre impact area, but not going out into the community. So our advice and state government advice is to not enter any of those damaged places. There's too many hazards, the risk is too high. The PPE kits that DHHS have been handing out are just for inspecting at arm's length, not for going in and doing any sort of work.
So, on a windy day, we need to be concerned?
No. So our research shows that the asbestos won't be travelling off-site and impacting on the community.
You're not actually monitoring the air?
No, there's no need to from our previous research.
You're happy if you did?
No, so we've got a PM 2.5. Okay, so the question was around potentially what parameters feed into the air quality category. So we currently have a PM 2.5 monitoring station set up at the SES. So that draws in air, takes a sample of it and measures all the particles that are smaller than 2.5 microns. So those small particles that can get into your lungs. So it's measuring those at the moment. But 2.5 micron and smaller it measures. Down to the bottom. But we don't just use that. That's one of the sources that feed in. We also have satellite monitoring and some work that we do with CSIRO to set up a good air quality model that we use for the whole state. So the model's quite good and we're able to predict with some accuracy. So. Yes, the same criteria is used here when we're forecasting air quality as we use in the city. But my advice to you would be don't just rely on our website. People's sense of smell and what you can see is a far better indicator than any model will ever be. So if you can look outside and see, you can't see past that 1.5 kilometres, you know that that landmark is that far away, then use your own judgment. I'd agree to do what you've done and go speak to your doctor and get a health plan specifically for your conditions. Any other questions? Otherwise, Gary and myself will be here at the end, and if you've got anything else, come have a chat with us and we'll see if we can get the answer for you. Thank you.
I'll hand over to Wayne in just a second, but I've been told that the live stream didn't work, so I have to repeat what was happening about the roads. Princess Highway's open. Okay. Between 8 and 8, C category, local residents or permit. Okay, 8 at night until 8 in the morning, it will be back down to a B category road, which is what we've got at the moment. So contractors and emergency services, but during the day, it should be fine to travel on. Wayne.
Thank you. So Wayne Richards, East Gippsland Shire Council. I'll be reasonably quick, but just a reminder for those people from Genoa and surrounds. So there is a community meeting and barbecue tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. At the hall. I believe we're starting with a barbecue and following with some discussion. The other information I had was around these community meetings. And again, we're talking about scaling these back and I guess getting back to a sense of normality. So the next meeting will be Monday next week. And I guess that's on the basis that sort of information that we're being able to provide you. One is available in those regular newsletters, as well as it's not changing as quickly as what it had been in the past. So that's just a makes best use of everyone's time. The other thing will be that those meetings will be at the Mallacoota Health Centre. So, obviously a bit smaller room, and obviously the numbers attending these meetings are decreasing. So, again, allows us to get this facility back to being a hall and being used for that purpose. The one final thing I had was we have Colin. Did anyone have any questions about that? Sorry, just before I introduce Colin. No. It will be at the same time at 4 o'clock, yes, and we'll make sure that that's well publicised. And as I mentioned, so we've also got Colin Dixon. He's just going to provide a bit of information about people telling their fire stories and recording some of that. So we'll hand over to Colin.
Okay, I'm Colin Dixon. Just letting you know that there's a group in town that are being facilitated through the Arts Centre if people want to tell their stories. And I think Narelle Warren and some others are organising that through the Arts Centre. And I've offered to assist that if people want to put those stories online and combine them into eventually producing a book. And I've set up a Google group called Mallacoota. So if you just go to search Google Groups, Mallacoota, and you'll see it there. Click on join with your email address, and you can be part of that group and find out what's going on with that. As an addition to that, I've set up on a laptop a good microphone and a second webcam to be able to do interview-style recording of videos of your story. So if you'd like to have your story recorded on a video, I can do that. But also, I'm using a free software, open source software called OBS. So if you have a good laptop and a decent microphone and a second webcam, I'm happy enough to set that up so you can do your own that way, just show you how to use that software. So we can get some video footage of stories of what's happened. It's not just the people that have been affected. Also with that software you can record, the second camera can be a Skype call. So someone can call in who's not here and be part of that two-way conversation that gets recorded. I've set up a website called Mallacoota2020.com. So Mallacoota2020.com, and I've documented that on there. So if you want to take some notes or have that, or would like to see me about that, that offer's out there. So, any questions on that? No? Good. Thank you.
Okay, unlike me, that's short and sharp. Any other questions for the evening? Yes?
Can you give us any information at all on bushfire activity over at Mallacoota and coming few days or so?
Not being sorry, the question was, thank you. The question was any updates in relation to the fire out at Nudgee. There is some hot spots, and with the next coming days, although I'm not a firefighter, the next coming days is going to be an increase of fire activity in the area. My advice would be speak to your local CFA people and get the up-to-date, keep on top of the apps, the radio, and see what's moving. But I know they've been working extremely hard on those fires at the moment, but just, with the increased heat and the increased activity in the next couple of days, just be vigilant as you have been. And just seek the information from your CFA.
Families in Melbourne, can they come with an application?
The question was in relation to families in Melbourne, can they come with an application? Again, it'll be a case-by-case situation, so they'll need to contact Orbost ICC and put their case forward and see if they can get a permit to come through.
Will they get bothered?
Will they get bothered? They'll probably just get asked why they need to go there, and then it'll come down to the incident controller as to whether or not it's okay. Yes?
I was wondering if you had a time frame as when Growcon will be starting, and that will have a date and time frame when that might be starting.
The question was around when will Growcon going to start the clean-up, and the honest answer is I don't know that one. It's been handled by a different department outside of the local policing.
Yeah.
There will be further information in relation to it. I just don't have that for you at the moment.
And we've registered with the clean-up, so
Excellent.
it's still waiting. Okay, no drama.
Thank you. Yes?
Quick one for the council. Lots of survey leaks resulting from the fire or fire activities. The council offering any service in that area?
That's a question for Wayne.
So the question was, is council offering replacement of loss of survey peaks? Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't have the answer to that either, but I'll grab your details and I'll follow that up and get back to you.
What was the demand?
The question was about whether council would be offering replacement of survey peaks.
Now that the road's open between 8 and 8, are we likely to get our green waste service back anytime soon?
I believe the intent is to get the waste services back to normal as soon as it's possible with the roads. So there was an intent to get the waste service back this Wednesday, but obviously the roads prevented that. So on that, there will be a waste pickup on Saturday, as has been previously the case from New South Wales.
Can you drive from Can River to Bombala or not?
The question was in relation to the road from Can River to Bombala. It's still a work in progress, but it's getting closer each day. Vic Road's website and all West ICC have got information. But the Monaro Highway, they're working hard to get that one open.
Sorry, one more question. The audio people were due to come down yesterday,
Right.
and our police told them from Marinda to help people use their computer. And our police said yes, and they were told that New South Wales police wouldn't let them go past 1 million. Is there anything we could say or do that will help them get here, that people who are having trouble hearing that?
Yeah, so the question was around extra medical services in relation to hearing services. I'll get your details at the end and I'll get back to you and we'll see what we can push up the line. Any other questions? No? And just a quick thank you to Don for his work in setting up the meetings and setting up the meetings. And he also what that something to say.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to give you a quick update. My name's Abby. I'm a Senior Forest and Wildlife Officer. I've been working in the triage centre in the Mallacoota Muddy, just across the Oval. And I just wanted to give you a quick update on the triage centre. So, good news, all the animals have moved on. We've been able to release all the ones that we had in the triage centre. We are scaling down the triage centre. We've had no animals come in today. We've had no animals come in yesterday. We've actually putting more numbers out on the ground now. So we're actually going to have 2 teams that have been searching the whole area. So we're actually now got an area around the back of the Muddy, which is a small veterinary room. So if you do still see wildlife, you can still call the number on 1300. Just get that number up. So it's 1300 356 683. And we've actually got another vet out here who's actually going around with our searching teams out on the ground. So he's actually doing a bit more field response and mobile veterinary response actually out in the field. So we've had to date 116 animals through the triage centre. We've released back, I think the numbers are in excess of 20 to 30 koalas have gone back into the local surrounds and areas. We've still got 20 that are in critical care, but I get updates all the time from Melbourne Zoo and Hillsville Sanctuary, and they're doing really well, which is fantastic. And yeah, if you do need assistance for wildlife or for other animals, you can give that number a call and we'll direct you in the right area. So we're hoping that you can have the wonderful Muddy Community Hall back to start having some events in there for you guys as well. I believe you had some fantastic music events. Would that be correct? Yeah. Sounds like you need a nice music event coming up soon. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any about the wildlife situation.
No, you've just done a really good job.
Oh. Thank you so much. Just another thing I don't know if I had the other day, but I think it's really interesting is that we have had helicopter fly around the whole area and actually also looking. We also had an offer recently from Victoria Police. They've got a drone specialist who is offered to come here and start looking at wildlife using a drone technology. So maybe that might happen as well. So we're trying our best. We've been to every road and every area we possibly can. I've just rushed in here from, I think I was out towards Quarry Beach and all those areas and around the airport myself. So any spare moment I have, I'm out there and looking. So yeah, hopefully we're looking after your wildlife for you. So thanks so much. Thank you. Do you have a question?
Have you found any wild cats about?
So the question is, have we found any wildcats about? No, I haven't had any reports of wildcats that have been about, so it's kind of interesting. Another question?
I was just wondering whether anyone's had a chance to go over to the other side of the lake and just see what wildlife's over there.
So I wish I had a map, and I might try and get one for you so you can understand where we've been. I do have a map where all the guys have been. So at the CFA we go to the briefings in the morning and we find out where the work's being done, and as soon as they've assessed the trees and made it safe, my guys are pushing right through there. So they've gone to, and I'll list the places and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing them correctly, but they've managed to get through to MLC today, which is really good. Yeah, which is fantastic. They've been into, by boat, into Gypsy Point. They've been around to Genoa. They've been right down the bottom. If you just bear with me, I'll just get my map up. I just had to send it to the State Control Centre and let them know where we've been as well. Bear with me. Is there any areas that you, I mean, if you want to even call up and let me know and say, look, can you get into this area? Here we go. Here's my map, so this makes it easy for me. So we've been into Wallagra, right through that area, Gypsy Point, Maramingo Creek, so right pushed through that area. They've gone, which is great today, down towards Seal Creek walking track, so pushed right through down there, which is good. I've asked them to sort of push right through to Carbathong, so they've been through Carbathong area as well, and those fringes off that area, and right through to MLC and I think it's the Genoa sector, right through there. So anywhere that you can get. Unfortunately for me, they're sending me home tomorrow, so that's all right. There is someone replacing me, but I am driving back. So I'll tell you what, every stop that I have, I'll be looking for wildlife on the way, guarantee it. So from here to Melbourne, I'll check every bit of wildlife I can, okay?
I think we'll call it there. Just one last announcement. The girls at the back just reminded me. School's back today, so school zones are back in force. Thank you. And John will take the advisory.
And just to remind you that on Sunday, in room 7 at the school, which is the room just past the office on the outside, a guy called Camp Diamond is going to be playing virtuoso guitar for a free concert. And before that, the Lions will be there with their friendly sausages and stuff. And so the friendly sausages are at 1 o'clock. The concert is at 2. Hope to see you all there.
And one final thing, I think it got mentioned before, but just thank you to Don for his assistance with running these meetings, and you see the AV equipment, and Max as well for live streaming. But yeah, huge amount of work that goes into that. We sort of turn up and it's all ready for us, so thanks Don.